What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm on Toxic Gaming today, people. Today I'm going to be bringing you some Speed Duel Rated. We're going to be playing some meta decks today in the rated format on Dueling Book. So if you guys don't know what Dueling Book is, definitely recommend going and check it out. It's where I do most of my projects for my channel. But this is where we do our rated stuff for the channel. I haven't done this in a long time. So the reason why is because when the Niagara list was released, it was really hard to get into a match on rated and be like, hey, I'm on the Niagara list, and they're like, oh, I'm not, and I'm like, okay, well, this isn't going to be fun. But lately, everybody's just kind of like switched over to that list. So if you're not playing that list, highly recommend playing it. I think it's the only way you can really play speed duels in a high level competitive way right now. So I think that it's the best thing for you to do. Without further ado, we're going to jump right into this. Today we are playing against RonWiz. He is known for most of rookstables, Speed Duel Showdowns. So we played against him, I want to say like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, this would make for a good video because his deck is really unique. And I'm playing meta, so I wanted to like showcase you what we're looking at right now. So the meta deck I chose to play was the Joey, I'm just going to attack deck. I think that's a really good meta call for the moment, and he's playing the Paradox Brother deck, which is really cool. So we start off the game going with the set Blast here, which I am playing in my deck, playing the Dust Tornado face down with the Book of Moon, and then passing turn off to the opponent. Ron goes ahead, draws for turn, drawing into the Dark Magician. He goes for his Breaker here, but we're going to have to Book of Moon. Book of Moon is going to flip the Breaker face down, passing back off to us. We draw into Zombira the Dark, which is a monster that I play in my deck, which you don't really see a lot of in these beatdown strategies, but I personally like Zombira a lot. He is a 2100 attacker. He was used a lot in like GOAT format and like pre-GOAT format, so I was like, I'm going to test him out, and really I don't dislike using him. However, at the amount that I'm playing him in this deck, I think it should go down at least to 1. I have him at 2 in this list. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to summon the Zombira right here. We're going to attack over the Breaker, but they have the Sphere Creepo, which is going to switch Zombira to defense mode. They're going to draw for turn, drawing into the Thousand Knives. They'll flip the Breaker face up and then use the Dark Magic Curtain. This is going to pay half their life points and then summon the Dark Magician from their deck. So Dark Magician comes out as a 2500 beater. They use Thousand Knives here to destroy our face down card, which is a face down Blast Sphere, and then battle into our Zombira the Dark. We then take or get attacked by the Dark Magician here. We're going to single in the attack deck, but we will take the 2500 damage. Drawing for turn, we'll draw into the Nightmare Wheel, which is kind of perfect with what we have going on right now. So we set the Nightmare Wheel face down. They draw on the Song of the Thunder, so they're going to go ahead and use the skill here, which is Beware of the Brothers Paradox, which is my all-time favorite skill. I'm not going to be past it. This is my favorite skill in Speed Duels. Every deck I build with this seems really powerful, really unique, and really fun. It's not very good. It's not going to be one of your best meta-relevant skills, but it is, in my opinion, a tier 3 skill to use. So definitely one of my favorites, so I like when I play against it. So they summon the Sangha here for 1 less tribute, and then switch the Dark Magician to defense mode and attack for 2600. This is where we'll Nightmare Wheel. So we'll Nightmare Wheel here, causing it to go to defense mode. If in the situation they didn't use the skill here, Breaker and Dark Magician, we would have still had outs for both of them, being the Sphere Creepo and the Nightmare Wheel. So drawing for turn, we draw into the Floodgate Trap Hole. They'll take their 500 damage. We will go ahead and we will set our Floodgate and then pass turn off to the opponent, who draws into the Thousand Knives. They switch the Dark Magician to attack position, attack us directly for 2500, which we are going to Sphere Creepo. They can only attack with 1 monster per turn. Even though they are Nightmare Wheel, they wouldn't be able to attack us anyway, but that's one of the big downsides of the skill, is they can only attack with 1 monster per turn. Drawing into the book here, it's like, alright, fine. We go ahead and hit the end phase. They draw for turn, drawing into the Breaker, the Magical Warrior, summon the Breaker here, and then we're just going to proceed to, quit. Every monster in their field could attack us directly. We had, like, I single 1 out, but that's about it. I mean, we were in a bad situation no matter what, so, just going on to game 2. Drawing into Double Book, Sphere, and Tornado. We're opting to make them go first. They just immediately pass, which is, expected with the level 7 deck. We draw into the Jurai Gumo, which is like our main boss monster of the deck. So I go ahead and I summon my Gumo, I set my Book of Moon and my Dust Tornado and my other Book of Moon, and we proceed to end phase. I didn't attack with the Jurai Gumo here, and I felt like it was a misplay not to, but also I didn't want to take half the life points, I feel like. So we draw into his Zombira here. We use the I'm just going to attack skill, and then we're going to just hit directly for the 2300, but they use the Sphere Creepo here, switching it to defense mode. We do declare the attack and call heads, so we don't have to pay the life points, we just go to defense. Passing turn off to the opponent, they draw into the Dark Magician Curtain. They use the Curtain here to pay to 2k, and then they summon the Dark Magician to the field. which is like, this card's insane. I don't know why we're not seeing more play with this card. Going to the battle phase, they attack Magician into Gumo. We're going to Sphere here, and then we're going to Dust Tornado the back row, which is a Twister. Both of them will go to the graveyard, and we will draw for turn, drawing into the Floodgate. We'll go to main 1, flip the Gumo, set the Floodgate, and then summon Zombyra the Dark. We're going to utilize the skill here, giving everybody plus 100, or giving our Zombyra plus 100 attack. Zombyra is going to clear because he's at 2200. We'll lose a 200 attack there due to his skill, and then we will use your Gumo to attack directly for 2200. Now here's what I mentioned about the beginning where I didn't attack. I don't know if not attacking turn 2 to bait the Karibo was a misplay. So probably at the time I was thinking that. It seems like something I would do. Going to standby, and then main 1, we set the Blast Sphere, set the Zoma, and then pass turn we are on burn. Oh yeah, we set the book too. We are definitely going for the burn strat that we play with this deck. They're going to draw into Song of the Sunder. They're going to summon Breaker the Magical Warrior, which we do end up Book of Mooning here, and they are going to pass off turn here. We will summon the Zoma the Spirit to the field in defense mode, and then we will draw for turn. Drawing into the Book of Moon, we'll set the book, switch to the Gumo to attack, summon the Zoma to attack, summon the Gumo, and then proceed to our I'm just going to tag, that makes sense. Giving 100 to Gumo, and then proceed to battle phase. This is going to clear the Breaker, and then Gumo will attack for 2300. We will call heads as always, because that's the only thing we ever call in this. I believe we hit it. Yep, we hit it. So we don't have to pay the life points, and then we will go ahead and pass turn off to the opponent. Opponent draws into a Dark Magic Curtain, uses the skill, revealing the Song of the Sunder, and they summon Zolga, which is like kind of the counter to our burn strat that we're playing here, but you're playing 7, so yeah, play Zolga. Tributes to Zolga, gains to 2k life, and then summons Song of the Sunder, which is so strong. They proceed to battle phase here, and then they're going to climb the Jurai Gumo. We're going to allow it to happen, no point in using our Book of Moon here. And we will take a total of 400 life points. They're going to go ahead and draw for turn, or we're going to go ahead and draw for turn, drawing into the Jurai Gumo. Just going to set it face down. This is a bait, letting you all know. This is why it was like the Sphere Karibo seems like a bait. This is a bait. I do it all the time when I play Speed Duels, like every time. You'll even in my last Santa Claus video, I did my little sinking face, like, oh yeah, I might have Waking the Dragon or response, even though I only have a set Waking the Dragon. It's just bait your opponent. It's kind of what the game is. So they're going to go ahead and switch to Sungo to defense mode. Like, you can't climb these cards. Like, the likelihood of either of them being a blast sphere is like insane. Setting the Nightmare Wheel face down and then passing turn off to the opponent. They draw into the Sphere Karibo. We draw back, going into the Book of Moon. Setting the Book of Moon. They pass turn. They draw into the Breaker, the Magical Warrior. At this point, I know what he's looking for. He's either A, looking for Dark Magic Attack, B, looking for Thousand Knives, or C, looking for Dark Magic Curtain, and has both of the Dark Magic Attack and Thousand Knives in hand. So we're just going to continue passing back to the opponent. They're going to set the Dark Magic Curtain. We're going to sync on end phase, and when I draw for turn. The reason I thought there was because of Royal Flush being in the game. I wasn't sure if he was playing it or not, so I was like, do I respond with any of my stuff here? Just to make sure that I don't get flushed. But I just took the gamble here. I'm going to keep his monster in defense mode. I'm going to Nightmare Wheel, and I'm going to pass turn. He's going to draw for turn, drawing to the Thousand Knives, and set the Dark Magic Attack face down. Passing turn, he draws for turn, or we draw for turn, drawing into Zombyra the Dark. They'll take another 500 off the wheel. They'll draw for turn again, going into drawing into Sphere Karibo. Something weird that I thought about after I rewatched his replay. He keeps taking damage off these wheels. I think he's taking a total of a K. I don't know why he didn't tribute this Sangha for another Sangha. Like, I don't know what his play was there. But he summons the Breaker here. We're going to book the Breaker on the summon. We're going to draw for turn, hit the standby. He's now taking effectively 1500 damage. And we are going to set the other Nightmare Wheel face down. They're going to draw for turn, drawing into the second Thousand Knives. They draw into the Dark Magician. At this point, I'm going to have to floodgate it. Or actually, no, he's Thousand Knives. I didn't floodgate. So he does double Thousand Knives, hitting the Gumo, hitting the Blast Sphere. Alright, did exactly what he was supposed to do. And then passes turn off the way. Then, yeah, by the way, that was Death to the Knives bait. This guy right here. So we're going to the draw phase, drawing into the Blast Sphere, which is so funny. It gets killed and we immediately get the out for it. Setting it face down, and then we are going to battle phase the Zoma into the Dark Magician. This is game right here, if this connects. They're going to Sphere Creepo, switching the Zoma to defense mode, and then we are going to pass turn off to the opponent, who draws into the Dark Magic Attack. They use Dark Magic Attack, which says if you control a Dark Magician, destroy all spawn trap cards your opponent controls. We chain Book of Moon to flip the Dark Magician face down. That card is no longer on the field, so they can no longer destroy all our spawn trap cards. They flip the Breaker, attacking into the defense monster, which guess what? It is another Blast Sphere. We're going to connect the Blast Sphere to the Breaker, and then we are going to Nightmare Wheel the Dark Magician. We're going to draw for turn, going to the standby, they'll take 500, going to main phase 1, we'll set one card face down, switch it to Zoma to attack mode, and the turn, the opponent will draw for turn here, drawing to the Breaker, going to the standby, we will use the Blast Sphere will connect, destroying the Breaker, and then they will take a total of 1600 damage, putting them to 100 life points. They'll go ahead and summon the Breaker, the Magical Warrior, and then they will utilize the Breaker's effect here to pop, to destroy the Zoma's Spirit. They'll tribute off the Dark Magician for the Song of the Sunder, and then proceed to battle phase to attack directly for 2600, which we will Sphere Karibo, putting it to defense mode. We'll draw for turn into the Sphere Karibo, set the Floodgate Trap Hole face down, summons the Buyer of the Dark, and then utilize our skill to put him to a 2200 beater. We'll attack over to the Breaker of Magical Warrior, hoping for game, but they do have the Sphere Karibo. We're going to pass turn off to the opponent, who draws into another Dark Magician. They're going to stand by main 1, switches the Song of the Sunder to defense or to attack mode, battle phase into the Zumbire of the Dark, to which we then use Sphere Karibo again. Drawing for turn, drawing into a second Zumbire of the Dark, we will set it face down as another Blast Sphere bait, and at this point they can't even attack it. They can't even take that risk with the Blast Sphere. If they would, and it was Blast Sphere, they lose the game. So they literally cannot even take a risk with attacking this face down card. They draw for turn, drawing into the Knives, switch to the Sangha to attack mode, and then attack into the Zumbire of the Dark. We will let it die here. Drawing for turn, we draw into the Sphere Karibo. They are going to go to main 1, and then pass turn. They will draw into their own Sphere Karibo, going to main 1, and then they will tribute their Breaker the Magical Warrior here to summon their Dark Magician, but we are going to Floodgate it here. I think that is 2 of the Dark Magicians down, correct. So this will Floodgate the Dark Magician face down, he will no longer be face up, and then it stops the Dark Magic attack or the possible third Thousand Knives, which is in their hand. We will go to a main phase, pass turn to the opponent. Opponent will draw into the Dark Magician here. They will then go to battle phase and attack the Zumbira the Dark. Zumbira dies, we draw for turn. Go ahead and set one card face down, another card face down, and pass turn off to the opponent, who draws into the Dark Magic attack. At this point, they have 0 cards in their deck. We have 1 card on the field, and they have to go for game here. They tribute the Dark Magician for the Dark Magician. We have the Floodgate, so they cannot stop the defense monster. It gets Floodgate face down. They battle into the Jirai Gumo. We then use the Sphere Karibo, switch it to defense mode, draw for turn. Main phase, set 1, and then pass off to the opponent, who has 0 cards in deck, effectively making them deck out with 100 life points. But yeah, that's the biggest downfall I feel like was the Sevens deck. I think that RonWiz played very, very well against us in general. I think that this deck is very cool and very unique. I did like its list a lot, and it was a really fun duel that I enjoyed playing. And it's one of those duels where I was thinking about it 2 weeks later for something to make for content. So you know it was a good game. Again, he's a great player. Check him out on the showdowns. Check out Rook Showdowns in general. I think they're really nice for the format. But yeah, let me jump into this deck showcase. Alright, so this is a deck that I dubbed as Dark Beat. As you know, we are playing Joey's skill. I'm just going to attack, which you know how it works. So if you don't, you gain 100 attack points to one of your monsters per turn, and then if your opponent activates a battle trap during the battle phase, you can flip it back face down, negate it. That's pretty much what the deck does. So we play a bunch of beatdown cards, being the triple Jirai Gumo, being a 2200 beater, and the double Zumbira the Dark. Again, you could definitely cut this out, make it into a Gaia. The original deck for this, I actually was playing Strike Ninja in it, so you could definitely test out Strike Ninja if you want to too. I love that card. That card is so cool. Blast Sphere is in here at 2. You could definitely bump it to 3 if you wanted to, and then triple Sphere Karibo for protection. That's pretty much what we got going on because of how many people are playing Joey Beat at the moment. Book of Moon is at 3 in the Niagara list, so we play it at 3. Dust Tornado is at 2 in our list with the double Floodgate for another like control package. Double Nightmare Wheel. It is a burn deck, so we are playing it at 2 with the one some of the Spirit. The side deck is the double Mind Crush. This is for the Cyber Angel deck. Playing that with double Floodgate is really good. The Jar of Avarice, in case we do get into a stall matchup, we can circulate back our burn cards, burn our opponent. Straight Flush in case again stall. And then Defusion. I hate playing against Dragoon. I hate it so much. So yeah, I'm on double Defusion right now. It's also good for when you hit the Wakings because we are playing the Dust Tornadoes. I don't like getting punished for destroying back row. So yeah, we got Destiny and Dragoon, we got Ojama King, we got Thousand Eyes of Strict. You know, we got the Waking targets, but we don't play Waking, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, this is the list. if you guys enjoyed this type of video, and if you're excited to see the return of Speed Duel Rated, then make sure you leave a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe, and make sure you comment what you think of the deck, what you think of the match we played. And yeah, again, thanks RonWiz for playing with me. And above all, I want you all to have a great day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.